Well, welcome to your tropical weather update. We've got a new update from the National Hurricane Center this morning. It has now upgraded this to a 40% in the next 24 hours. They're going to issue another update at 3 p.m. today or earlier if necessary. So this is really starting to get some nice organizations, and so we're now at a 70% chance in the next 24 hours. So if we look in the next 5 days, there's still the area of development has still not changed. We're still thinking of some potential tropical depression or tropical storm in east of Florida and north of the Bahamas. And in case of this kind of development, this has still not changed, and the National Hurricane Center are agreeing with their first statements made a couple days ago. Alright, so now we're going to be looking at the GFS model, if anything has changed or if we're still agreeing with what was said yesterday. So starting off, we can definitely still, So once again, we're still tracking pretty much the same as yesterday afternoon. The storm will start to make its way east of Cuba and then moving up north of Florida, east-north Florida, so northeast, all the way up and then merging with a front coming out of the East Coast and the New York area. So this is still what's expecting. And there's still nothing. I'm going to be looking at the CMC really quick, because I know they're agreeing with a more onshore situation, so more closely following closely the east coast of Florida with this one. So if we look at the CMC, we can definitely see the storm, the center of circulation of the storm, staying much closely to Florida. If we look right here, we're seeing the storm stay much more on the coast of Florida near Melbourne and Miami. So we're seeing So we have two different tracks with this one, and we're really going to have to see whether the high pressure in this area is going to be staying strong or if it's going to be moving out sooner than expected. Because the big play with this one is the high pressure here. If this high pressure decides to go east or just dissipates quicker, the storm's going to directly go north, following most passive storms. They come this way and then go directly northeast. But if the high pressure stays here, we could see a weaker storm, but a potential heavy threat for flooding in Florida. If the high pressure does not stay, we could see a potential stronger storm with no landfall. So this is really what's going to be the big play for the storm. And another perspective, if you look at Windy for the ECMWF, it's agreeing pretty closely with the high pressure. So this is where your high pressure system is pretty much. It's this area. This is pretty much where it is. Then the high pressure it's moving away. And then so we can see some circulation starting to be happening here. High winds in the Bahamas. High winds starting to pick up. And then by Saturday, we have a center of circulation forming north of Hash Harbor and east of the east coast of Florida. And then on the ECMWF, it's agreeing for potentially a low-end tropical storm or a high-end tropical depression with this one, but most likely a tropical storm. And then moving a pretty large wind field and then weakening very quickly as it gets to some cold waters, and then back probably to a tropical depression by Sunday, and then by Monday probably dissipating and merging with a front. But if we look at the GFS once again, the GFS makes the storm much stronger. So the GFS, same thing. Center circulation forms already by early Friday. We already have a center of circulation formed right north of Cuba. So that already makes the storm much stronger. It's going to get organized quicker. And then by Saturday, we already have a tropical storm, most likely a high-end tropical storm. So it's not going to be hitting Florida or any coast. With this one, it's also going to be a one-sided storm, like we call them, where all the precipitation is going to be on one side. But by Monday, the storm does get stronger again, and then this is where we could potentially be seeing our Category 1, or it could merge with a front and not be tropical anymore. So this is what we've got going on. And if we look at the precipitation, we really see the same thing. Let me go to So if we look at rain, if we look at the rain, the accumulations of rain in the next 5 days, so we can see even in the next 10 days, we can really see where the potential track is going to be. And this is really right heading north, and Florida should not have. But in the next 24 hours, see, the next 3 days, some rain in Miami, but really this is going to stay offshore for the most part. And then the ECMWF does bring more rain onshore, but has a weaker storm. And then NAM brings potentially no rain at all onshore, or little to no rains onshore. Well, some bands, but this is what we're looking at right now. And same thing, like I was saying for the rain, we won't get any rain with the storm onshore if we stay with what the GFS is saying. We will most likely not get any rain whatsoever. The people that will get like the most rain will most likely be New York, and then even it won't be tropical anymore. Same thing with the ECMWF. We just don't get that much rain onshore for Florida, except in Miami. Potentially on Friday, we could get some high precipitation. And lastly, we finally have some satellite imagery of the storm starting to get organized right here south of Florida. It's a big cluster of clouds. We kind of have two parts to the storm, so I don't know which one's going to be developing, but I think this one's getting better organized. But then again, they're kind of connected. We're starting to see some out of bands hitting near Melbourne, Florida, and Miami's already seeing the effects. So this is what we've got going on right now. So this is your tropical weather update. It's 10 a.m. Eastern time here in Florida, and I'll have another one at 3 p.m. for you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.